Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. It is cloudy and overcast again today, but we didn't get rain in the night. So now we just wait and see what happens, you know. I'm hoping that everybody remembers that we have a pop-in paint party today, and not tomorrow, and that my stitch along is at 10:30 this morning instead of 9. So I know it's a little bit different, but I tried to post the calendar of events on every platform that I have, and it goes out in every newsletter. So that hopefully everybody, I know I need lots of reminders. So if you need a reminder, please don't feel bad. And know that if there's something you want to tell me and I haven't told you or I haven't done it, please remind me. I think we all need reminders, and I think we shouldn't be offended by people reminding. I mean, as long as you're reminding me in a nice way, and if you're yelling at me, then the hairs on my neck might go up. But if you're nice about it, I am usually most happy to oblige. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Cindy. Who else is here? I'm having a hard time seeing. Good morning, Vicky. There are other people here, but I can't see them. It's coming. Just make sure that when you pop in, just say hello. Hey, if you... Oh, have fun, Vicky. Have fun at lunch with a friend. Not much is finer than that. That's for sure. So we have art journaling today. I have lots of fun to share with you. Remember, we're going to experiment today by printing one of the new vintage Papeteries. I printed it with my inkjet printer in color, and we're going to put some watercolor ground on there and see what happens when I put watercolor on top of that. So that's our experiment today. So we could get started with that. I printed it both ways so you could see the difference. Remember, if you're new here, please follow, like, and subscribe to Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then please ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott. And then know that all of my art printables and my art classes are available on AnnCorbiereScottDesigns.com. Okay, so here's the difference, right? So this one was printed on my inkjet this morning. This one was printed on my laser printer this morning. My laser printer is only black and white. I did that on purpose. Well, and remember, my husband got it on OfferUp, so beggars can't be choosers. Anyway, so I do like that there's a little bit of color play in this one. So I'm going to get my craft mat out. And I'm feeling like let's go back to the Daniel Smith. No particular reason. I'm just kind of feeling it this morning. Let me get my big brush. I'm going to wet my brush. Well, again, get some of this watercolor ground and just start painting it on. See what happens. We'll see. mean, it seems like the color is moving a little bit, but I can't tell just yet if that is just because it's a color this morning and not black and white, or if I don't think it is moving. So we'll see how this turns out. Good morning, Ra. Hello, my German friend. How are you this morning, Miss Renate? Whoops, whoops, whoops. Good morning, Sarah. Are you at work again today? I presume. Okay, so if you're just joining us, I am, I printed the Vintage Papeterie 6 on my inkjet printer because that's my color printer, and I coated it with Daniel Smith watercolor ground. Let's see, and we're going to experiment and see how water works with this, how like watercolors respond. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I like to flip it over, dry it from the back side. And number one, I can kind of see where it's wetter on the back side. And my idea with this is, the other day I showed you a art journaling page that I created on Girlfriend's Day, National Girlfriend's Day, with my friends Carmen and Joni, and we filled a page with colorful circles. Do you remember that? So that's kind of where I'm feeling like I want to go with this morning. And I'm feeling like it will be way easier. Oh, it's still a little bit wet up here. It will be way easier to paint it all not in my art journal just yet. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to do all of my painting on this sheet, and then once I'm done and it's looking kind of how I want it, then I will glue it into my art journal. So I'm going to get my watercolors out, and I do need to pick out a color palette. So let's see, maybe I don't know, maybe the other day I chose 3 colors, you remember? And I feel like I need to kind of choose 3 colors again. I really liked that when we did this background. I picked 3 colors, so I'm feeling like I want to do 3 colors on this, but it's going to be all circles. And it's kind of, it's really quite, what's the word I want to say? It's really quite relaxing. I need a 3rd color. Let's go with this. And you'll see I'm doing them pretty close together. So if they bleed into one another, I'm all right with that. But I do want to make sure that I think I want to do the greens and yellows in my background, and then I want to do my flowers. I don't know. I'm thinking I want to do some different, good morning, Roseanne. Some different, maybe different color flowers, maybe pinks. I don't know. Oh, that's a little dark. Let's take some of that. I really want to continue to see that. I want to see the ledger book underneath. This is so relaxing. Ooh, look, I can see the numbers behind the yellow. So I think I need to be quite light with my greens so that I can still see those markings underneath. Oh, you guys, last night I watched I read a bunch of stuff about, I got done this, you know how you get on those rabbit holes? I happened to be listening to one of the Carpenters songs, and then I watched some videos of the Carpenters. I mean, that was just such a tragedy. And the Carpenters were just such a part of all of our lives, weren't they? They just, everybody knew those songs, and they were on the radio all the time. And I just, oh man. It was so good. It was so, so good. I am loving this background. I'm loving it. I am finding that because I want my dots to be light enough to be able to see the written word underneath, I'm re-wetting my brush every time I go to get more paint. But it does appear that the watercolor ground did its job, right? So the color is not bleeding, the color is not moving, right? I am still able to see the first layer through the paint that I'm applying. I love that. So think about what your favorite Carpenter song is. I have them all on my Apple playlist, my iTunes. So many good ones. She was, I mean, golly, what a talent. What a talent. Oh, I was going to tell you that let's do one there. I did see another story on CBS Sunday Morning. I haven't watched them all, but I did watch a couple. And one of the ones that I watched was about hydrangeas, and they're just, please, hydrangeas are so beautiful, aren't they? But alas, you know, we just do not live in a place where it is a good climate for them to grow. But I just love them. They're so pretty. They're just so pretty. And there's so many varieties. You know, I just love me some flowers. Anyway, they, yesterday, or excuse me, on Sunday, they, featured the hydrangeas of Cape Cod. I guess Cape Cod has all the makings for great hydrangea growth. Oh, you guys, loving it so much. I hope you're just relaxing and, you know, painting a nice background. Everybody take a drink. Anyway, they have a hydrangea festival. It started in 2015, which I thought was interesting. I would have thought that it would have been older than that, but they have a 10-day event with all of these like tours of different homes, home gardens, and I think maybe it is just all home gardens. Anyway, holy tamale, so pretty, so pretty. And I didn't realize there were so many varieties, and they have funny names. One that I wrote down was Twist and Shout, and another one is called Glowing Embers. I thought that was funny. Good morning, Karen. Let's see. I haven't done this color in a bit. Let's come in with that. Looks like we need some help up here. There we go. I just love the darks and lights, don't you? And then that's that little bits of text is just popping through, and that's the sweet spot for me. Uh-oh, looks like I better paint one right here where some paint dripped. And remember, whatever we use in our art journal, anything left over, keep in a little pocket, in a little Ziploc bag or something, for future creating. Because those little artsy clusters that we like to create will be even more fabulous with, you know, little bits and pieces of these artsy papers that we've created ourselves. Make that one kind of big. Fill in that space. Oh my gosh, I'm just loving it. I hope that you are all just creating an easy pattern on your paper this morning. Really consider investing in some watercolor ground. It will change up your creating. I just really, really like playing with it and experimenting and see where it takes me, you know? That's the beauty, is just experimenting and seeing what happens, you know? Let's go right here. Oh, everybody take a drink. I have little bits of bottles of drinks around here. That happens to me all the time. Oh, so back to hydrangeas. One thing that, did you know that almost all species of hydrangeas originated in Asia? I thought that was interesting. And then they went to Europe and, you know, the like. And then eventually they made their way to the States. I just thought that that was interesting. And they are a plant who likes to be watered from the bottom. They don't like you to pour water on their tops. They like to be watered from the soil. I thought that was good to know. I just, you know, I just love learning about those kinds of things. Let's come in with some more yellow, maybe. Hi, Christine. How are you? How are you this morning? A little bit more yellow. I love a ledger because it's tall and skinny. I love, and this one was, this one was only this wide, which I thought was kind of interesting, right? But I like that I have that crease down, that sewn, that sewn binding right here. You can see it, but you can also see both pages. Oh, I love it so much. Makes me so happy. Move on to a green. There we go. Oh, that one's dark. Let's take some of that. Move that over here. I am so good. I am so good, Christine. Oh, that stinking job. Hey, Tam. How are you? So my experiment worked, Tammy. I was able to print on my laser printer, or excuse me, on my inkjet printer, and in color. And then I applied watercolor ground. I used Daniel Smith this morning. I used some watercolor ground, and then now I'm painting on top, and it's doing its job. I love that. I love that, love that, love that. So I was just saying that oh gosh, you know when you get on a rabbit hole of who knows how you get wherever you are? Well, I started out feeling very sad about Olivia Newton-John and listening to a whole bunch of her music. And then I didn't realize that she and Karen Carpenter were really good friends. So then I started down a rabbit hole about Karen Carpenter and listening to a bunch of her music. So Olivia Newton-John and Karen Carpenter filled the airwaves of my house last night. Oh my gosh, it was so good though. I was drawing and feeling sad and drawing and feeling sad, and you know how that goes. It just kind of keeps going sometimes. Kind of digging this for my background. What was I gonna? I think I want to do yellow here and yellow here. It's kind of looking a little bit Connect Four-ish, isn't it? Although they're starting to vary in size a little bit by a little bit. Just love when, like, that blue line, that blue X is just popping through. I love that. It's making me so happy. Hi, Nancy. How are you this morning? So good, I hope. Let's do a yellow right here too. That yellow just brightens everything. Let's do a yellow right here too. So how about you? Are you having monsoons today or last night, Nancy? We did not, but we're kind of overcast today, so maybe something will happen. You know why it will? Because I'm going to get my hair done this afternoon. So of course it will rain or you know, storm. Man, oh man, I'm almost to the bottom. Kind of digging that. Hey, Tam. How's your puppy? I think I'm going to do 3 darks in a row right here. Oh, 4. Okay, stop it. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. But I'm feeling like, are you ready for it? I want to do a little bit of splatter, but I think I want to do splatter with the colors that I used. So I'm going to start with the darkest. Loving that. Let's do the lighter green. Okay, I'm going to set this aside to dry. I love that. All right, so now I'm thinking. Okay, I have two things that I could paint. Or I could do both. So I'm feeling like I want to do this flower. So let's find our scissor and cut that off. And then these flowers. Just kind of feeling those flowers this morning. What do you think? And I like the mixing of this flower and these flowers. This flower is the one that has the vintage accounting graph paper behind. And this one has this one I think is vintage Papeterie 1, actually. It has, I just love that, I'm going to fussy cut these anyway, so I'm going to kind of do a rough trim. But remember, don't get rid of this because we'll make something out of that. I love that all of that busyness is going to, let's start with the lightest. All of that busyness is going to be just enhanced with color, right? But I noticed I need to be a little careful when I paint these these leaves, right? Right, because this is just a little bud. This is a bud. And then this leaf here. And take some of that green that we're reusing over there. Oh, so pretty. Let's do the greenery on this one. Starting with that lightest green again. Just taking our time. See if there's any other greenery. I don't believe so. Then this one. Have any of you grown hydrangeas? I think mop heads are the most popular, aren't they? They're all so pretty. They're all just so, so pretty. You know, I love this green so much. I think I'm going to put little bits of it in the centers of these flowers. And then I'll kind of brighten it up with some yellow in a bit. But I just want that little bit of that green. So pretty. Now let's pick a color. Yeah, it's just hot here too. It's sad when in the morning and they say it's like 80 something and you get excited. That's sad. Okay, everybody take a drink. thinking I want to go pinks and oranges like those flowers I did yesterday. I'm just going to get that watery wash started first. I think these are going to really pop. So pretty on the background that we've painted already. So pretty. Now let's do this guy. So pretty. I'm feeling like I want to really build my watercolor layers, but then I want to finish off with some colored pencil to really like kind of tighten everything up. Good morning, Landis. Hey, Lynn. How are you? Oh my goodness, how are you both? Landis, you guys got hit by the storm, didn't you? Holy tamale. Lynn, are you here or are you in Iowa? I'm curious. Well, yay, I'm so glad you're joining. I miss you like mad. So are you there for good or just for a while? Look at my 3 girls from my art journaling class at Scraps of Love. This is a little better though, don't you think? You can, I mean, we don't get to see each other in person, but the upside is that we can be in our pajamas if we want. I'm not, but if I wanted to, I could, right? I'm just going to start building my pink. And remember, leave some lights. Make sure you leave some lights. Start to think about the places where the color is going to be darker because of the... So let's go to lunch or something, Lynn, when you get back. You too, Landis. You too, Christy. Remember that it's going to be darkest where the light doesn't show, right? Just think of all the things that we've talked about over and over and over again. That it's dark where 2 things meet or where something overlaps. And that a petal on a flower, or even a leaf, is never one solid color, right? It's going to be, many colors are going to show up. in those petals. So let's work on that. Let's work on building some flowers with good visual interest. And we're keeping it pretty watery so that it's not, there's not a severe line, but we can go back with our Jiggy Jaggy blend once we've built up colors a little bit, right? And we can do that because on this copy paper, because we coated it with watercolor ground, right? So now it's reacting to watercolor, much like watercolor paper. I mean, it's thin, so it's wrinklier, but I kind of dig that. And if it's bothersome to you, once you're all done, you can put it under a book and it'll flatten right out. Okay, let's start to build these. Little by little. Okay. Have you been making art? Any of you three? Anybody else? And if you have been making art, what are you doing? You know. We all want to know. Ta-da! Okay, now let's come back to this guy. That's funny. That's funny, Tam. Ooh, Nance, be sure to take pictures and post them. Post them in the private group. I would love to see them, and everybody else would too. Well, I only have one doggy now, and he just, he naps a lot. He, although yesterday, he went out, he wanted to go outside, so I left him out there for a couple minutes, and then I thought he had gone potty. And then I tried to bring him in, and he did not want to come in. So then I went and did something, and I came back, and he had gone in the pool. So then I had to go through the whole drying process. And he's a Labrador, so you know what? Their coats hold a lot of water. So that was an adventure, as you can imagine. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Let's get some more water in this orange. A little more. Remember, always work that water into your pigment before you start painting with it. Turn that substrate so that it's comfortable for your hand. Move that paint. If you feel like you have too much, then pull paint from there. Good morning, Deborah, or Debbie, sorry. Looked quick. Like that's kind of heavy, so let's move some of that over here. Oh, Barbara, holy smokes. Yikes. Well, we all wish you a speedy recovery. Maybe not speedy. Maybe a positive recovery. Maybe we don't want to rush it, right? I mean, I'm sure you'd like to get home, but we want all the things to happen that are supposed to happen. I am so well. I am so well. So do you see just the addition of that orange, how that's already started to build some visual interest? So let's do a little bit more of that. Pull color from there. And these I'm going to obviously need to do some jiggy jaggy blends. Slightly build those colors. So I'm going to let that all dry. I'll come in with another layer of a deeper green on all the foliage while we let the pinks and oranges dry. But when I'm looking at that pink, I'm feeling like I would really like to add some blues and purples. I feel like that would really add some cool visual interest. But now I'm seeing the buds over here. There's one, and here's one. And again, we'll come back and do some jiggy jaggy blends on those. How am I doing on time? Oh, yikes, almost 10 minutes left. Hey, Keels, how are you? Okay. So now, let's come back. And I'm really feeling like I see some blues and, well, happy birthday to him. How is Tom Reeves this morning? Everybody take a drink. So I'm just adding a hint of purple down here, just at the deepest spots. Good morning, Carrie. How are you? Just little bits of purple. I think that's just really adding a little more depth to everything. Well, I am glad to hear that things are well in the Chicagoland area, Keels. I think this purple is just really, oh, it's making me so happy. And I'm just kind of dabbing it along. So I just kind of give a hint of it. Yeah, that's a lot. So pretty. Okay. Let's do this one next. This one's drier. Let's see what happens here. One more. This one's still a little wet, but see if we can make that work in our favor. There we go. So Keely, we were talking about the hydrangea story on CBS Sunday Morning. Holy tamale, weren't those hydrangeas gorgeous? So, and the colors were just, holy smokes. Like they were just vibrant. And a little bit of purple right there. Right at the base. That's kind of cool. Oops. I'm feeling like the centers need to be brightened up a little bit. So let's come in a little bit of that yellow. Maybe we'll put a little bit of that yellow in the petals of the flowers too. See what happens with that. Remember, we're going to be blending that out, doing all kinds of things. I just want that little bit of brightness kind of work in our favor. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. that aside to dry. Now let's do this one. I need to do this. Good morning, Sheila. How are you this morning? Oh my gosh, it's so good. Wait till you, okay, so you'll have to for real watch the Steve Hartman story, which, who doesn't watch CBS Sunday Morning for the Steve Hartman story? And, the other one, oh, and Moxie Cola. That one was fascinating. That one was fascinating. I just loved it. Both so good. Ugh, stuck my finger in it. There's a little bit more yellow. There we go. So, Keels, I was telling everybody that I was listening to a bunch of Olivia Newton-John music yesterday. And then I found out that Olivia Newton-John and Karen Carpenter were best friends. So then I started down a Karen Carpenter rabbit hole. Holy tamale. Okay, let's see. Comfort book. A paradox. A therapist once told me that the most common complaint he heard from his patients was the feeling that they didn't belong, the feeling of being an imposter, or of being outside things, or of not fitting in, of failing to connect easily with people. I found this as reassuring as it was paradoxical. That one of the most common feelings among people was the feeling of not fitting in among people. The comfort, then, is the weird truth that in one sense we have most in common with others when we feel awkward and alone. Isolation as universal as it gets. Think about that today. Think about that. Oh, the Crested Butte one was so good, wasn't it? So good. And just Keely, we got to go there next summer. And see the wildflowers and take a million pictures. I just loved it. Well, it looks like we are almost at the end of our time. So I have lots more that I want to do with these flowers, but shut up. Look how pretty they're going to look on here. Oh, I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait. I hope that everyone remembers that today's Stitch Along will be at 10:30 on Stitch the States with Ann Corbiere-Scott Facebook group. And then I won't see you again until next Wednesday, I believe. Let's see. Let's look it up in the planner. I believe it's next Wednesday. Yes. So we're going to do the same thing next Wednesday. We're going to have our pop-in paint party at 9, and then we'll have our Stitch Along at 10:30. And then we'll have our next pop-in paint party on the 18th. So I won't see you all this time, but I'll be thinking about you, and I'll be getting filled up with inspiration of all kinds. And so paint and post. Let me know what's going on. If you haven't already subscribed to the newsletter, please do that. There's always something fun in there. Artsy Alchemy 4 is going to go up today. And it's, oh my gosh, it's going to be so fun. We're creating our own stamps out of fun foam and toilet paper rolls. I can hardly wait to share that with you. And so many, oh my gosh, so many, you know, my head is always like just brimming with a million ideas. And so that will be open for registration later today. And let's get artsy with our Bibles. Registration is open for that. This week's vintage Papeterie are numbers 5 and 6. Those will be super fun to play with and create with. Who knows what we'll come up with. I think that's it. If you think of a question, ask me right here in the comments, and I will try and answer. I adore you all. Thank you so much. See you next Wednesday or at 10:30. Bye, everyone. Thank you.